Hello, good morning, good afternoon, welcome. I'm very pleased to be joined by Lili Lu. Lili is a global business development manager for the hydrogen business at Envision. Envision is probably a company that maybe not everyone's familiar with, but is a huge giant in the renewable space, indeed across the whole energy space with solutions across from lithium-ion batteries through to digitalization of energy. So it's great to see Envision building their business in the hydrogen space, and great to have your support for the World Hydrogen Week, Lili. So thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Nadim.
So yeah, maybe we should start with an introduction. Obviously to yourself, you've got over 10 years experience in the energy sector, obviously originally in the research science, but now looking at developing the business aspects, and also maybe just giving a brief introduction to Envision for people that don't really understand Envision.
So my name is Lili. So my background is material science. So I got my Ph.D. and postdoc in Paris, focusing on the magnetic materials. So now I'm working for Envision Hydrogen, which is my third job career. And the focus is to looking into the global business opportunities regarding green hydrogen and other like green ammonia, green methanol, etc.
Yeah, impressive background, and perfect for your role. And Envision, in terms of the scale of the projects, I guess most people haven't been tracking Envision, certainly outside of China. But it's fascinating to talk to you before around some of the scales of the project, and indeed the project, which I think is about to begin next month, if that's right.
Yeah. So Envision, let's give us a very brief introduction about Envision, this company. So we are the net zero technology partner. So our original business, including the wind turbine business, battery for utility, battery for electrical vehicles. We also have our business regarding digital, which is based in Singapore. And our electrical battery business headquarters is based in Japan. And for Envision Hydrogen, we are one department within Envision Energy. The headquarters of the Envision Energy is based in Shanghai. So now, as you, Nadim, you mentioned about our project. Yes, so for Envision, now we think we are the only company in the world who can provide you a full and integrated value chain along green hydrogen. Because it's not only about chemical plants, it's also about the renewable energy, as well as the energy management system, which is in between and linked these two parts. So for Envision, because as I mentioned and introduced, we have our renewable sector, our digital sector, and now we have our chemical sectors. So our ultimate goal is to make the final molecules like green hydrogen and green ammonia, green methanol as competitive as possible, and provide to our partners a very competitive solution.
And the project that's just been built, the scale is very surprising, and the speed that you've been able to get it up and running.
Yeah, so the project that we are building in China, so it's in China. The location is within Inner Mongolia, which is the eastern part of Inner Mongolia, northern part of China. The total size is around 1.52 million tons per year of the green ammonia production. But of course, we are going to develop it phase by phase. So the demonstration phase, as we call it, phase 0, will be 20K ton per year of the green ammonia production. And the operation date actually is very exciting. It will be end of next month, this year.
Yeah.
And the phase 1, we planned for 300K. The on-stream date will be June of 2025.
Excellent. And then the full extent you said was 1,500,000 tons in.
So that will be the total capacity. So I mentioned the phase 0 and phase 1. So together, phase 0 and phase 1 will be 320K ton. So that will be on stream in total will be 2025. Yeah. So for phase 2, we planned kind of a same size as phase 1, 300K ton again. The on stream date will be 2026 or early of 2027. And for our third phase, it will be a very big one with 900K ton per year of the green ammonia production. But you can see why we are making it in that such sequence, because of course, firstly, it depends on the market feedback, market voice, and also the 900K ton, we are going to use our modularized 300K ton of this plant as a product to duplicate.
Yeah. And the electrolyzers you're using, are they your own R&D, your own IP?
Yes, I think for all the green hydrogen industry, the core component is the electrolyzers, right? Mm-hmm. So for Envision, since we are very, very ambitious in this domain, we are developing our own electrolyzer product, and that will also be validated in our own project.
Mm-hmm. And how many people are now in the hydrogen business, which I think was formed only, was it in 2022 that Envision formed its hydrogen business?
Yeah, so and that is a very good question. Even though we are not very long regarding Envision hydrogen team, but all the people actually are very experienced and from the related industry before. So now we have around like 100 people, and our target is to achieve around 150 at end of this year.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty fast growth, and yeah, clearly with your own pedigree and background, you've got a lot of experience in hydrogen. And China is a market we've been tracking at World Hydrogen Leaders with our China Intelligence Service, and there seems to be a lot happening across multiple different applications. What do you think are some of the first sort of applications that are going to be using your hydrogen and indeed your ammonia?
Yes, actually in China, I think if we are talking about hydrogen, so the current application will be for sure the mobility, because hydrogen is not a new thing. It has been existing for such a long time. But before it was just a gas. So of course, this hydrogen gas can be used in industries as a reductant, as this kind of a feedstock. But now if we're talking about hydrogen as energy, what is promoting very heavily in China is about fuel cell vehicles together with a refilling station. So that is top priority, which is also encouraged by the government. So the mobility market. So that is for hydrogen. But if we are talking about ammonia, I think that is another totally different story. So I have to say now in China, there's not a very clear yet a kind of application like a domain for green ammonia. So most of the ammonia has been produced in China are based on coal gasification and used for fertilizer. So for us, we are creating new market, not only limited to China. We are looking for the international market.
And in terms of that international aspect, obviously you've got a global remit in your own job. What are some of the other markets that you're working on in terms of, I guess, projects and activities?
Yeah, so because actually we have different projects. The one that I mentioned is only our first one. It will never be our only one project, right? So of course, if we're talking about the first one, which is green ammonia as the product, actually we think there are a lot of application in the future. The most one I think people are talking about it now is about the power generation. Because I think there are some countries, maybe you already know that, they wanted to secure the power, which maybe previously was based on natural gas, but then maybe considering the global situations, they need to think about more and diversified security for power supply. And then I think ammonia can play a very good role in the power generations. For example, like the ammonia gas turbine or blending with the coal-fired plant. I think that is a very good direction. I think the second one will be the maritime. So of course, the maritime, these directions will be kind of a competition or this kind of a way to say is whether it's in green methanol or green ammonia. But everybody knows that ammonia will be the ultimate goal, right? So this is the directions. But maybe in between, when people want to achieve some kind of carbon reductions at the very near term, so maybe methanol is also applicable. So for emission, we are very flexible, depends on market. Based on our technology, we can produce green methanol or ammonia based on the project location and the condition. Yeah.
And I mean, Envision, I guess, grew very quickly in the renewables sector, and certainly we partnered in our previous roles when we were working on renewable electricity in Latin America, and we're close partners with Envision, and we're very surprised with how quickly Envision was able to grow. I mean, with Envision's footprint across the world, are there any specific markets you're actually following up with actual projects at the moment, beyond obviously your huge project in China?
Yes, you mean the wind turbine or the global? Because we have different segments for business directions. But for international one, I think we definitely will be our focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think the one you mentioned, Latin America, we already have our footprint there. We have our wind farm. We own the farm, and for other locations, we are having business like the selling of the wind turbine, our battery for electrical vehicles. More than 50% of our employees are international employees, which can give you a hint that we kind of, even though we're based in China, but our business target is for global and together with China.
Yeah, no, understood clearly. So yeah, it was fascinating. You and your colleague, I think Frank, are going to be speaking at the World Hydrogen Week this year. So it's going to be interesting to catch up with you, meet you face to face, indeed, and listen to Envision's plans as they progress. So many thanks for taking your time out today to share some of your thoughts and give us some of the insight of what's going on there at Envision. And we thank you for your support. We look forward to seeing Envision grow.
Thank you for your time. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Rotterdam.
Excellent. Many thanks, Lili. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.